1-star review from Yelp for clowns.com, written
Okay.
by Tina R.
Tina R.
And here's the review.
Okay.
Iron Man came a half hour late, past the 3:30 to 4 p.m. window, arrived at 4:30. He was not dressed or ready to entertain. In fact, he got dressed on my front stoop. Where the children saw him getting dressed. He was not in character whatsoever and didn't speak or make a peep. This was supposed to be a character experience and interaction. Instead of coming in character and bringing the Iron Man persona, he awkwardly lingered around my backyard, making the entire party feel extremely uncomfortable. His suit was a red leotard. At least put some shoulder pads in and bring some excitement. My husband and I were completely embarrassed, and he was the joke of the party. ... The caps joke. Never again will I use this company, nor will my guests. Horrendous Iron Man. Absolutely the biggest letdown for my son and his 4th birthday. I even called when I scheduled and told them exactly what our expectations were. And Christian, whom we booked with and spoke with multiple times, just simply yesed me to death to get our money. Oh, yes, this is a character experience and interaction. Couldn't be the farthest thing from that. They sent the complete opposite of Iron Man. Every kid saw through him. My husband called to discuss what had happened with the manager, and he had zero compassion and didn't even offer merely a credit or slight refund. We could have picked up a better Iron Man hanging around Times Square. In fact, those are probably better. A complete embarrassment. I'm mortified.
Wow. I gotta say, I feel like I always laugh at these like 4-year-old birthday parties where the parents take it so seriously. And I feel like Tina really just summed it up for us in that last sentence when she said she was embarrassed. Because I feel like going into this, Tina was like, I'm gonna, like everybody went to Betsy's son's 4-year-old birthday and they couldn't stop talking about that cake and that Iron Man cake. And I'm going to do them one better. Like, I'm not going to have just an Iron Man cake, which I will have. I'm going to have Iron Man. And then when it just didn't pan out the way that it had panned out in her brain, she was just that much more hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, Tina, first of all, I'm sorry, Trey. I'll try not to laugh when you read, but sometimes it's just so funny to me. When you were talking about Iron Man getting dressed on the front stoop, like before, I wrote like traumatizing because I'm picturing in my head the children watching. And then I'm glad that she brought that up because I was thinking like, that is like a number one no with these kind of things. It's like, especially when you're going to these kids' birthdays, it's like, if you're showing up as the Easter Bunny, you're the Easter Bunny from the second you get there. You don't put on your Easter Bunny suit on the front stoop. Like, how traumatic. Can you imagine? Tina's like, Brayden, like, Iron Man is here. Like Brayden comes running to the window with all of his friends to see Iron Man on his front stoop, and he sees like this like guy's butt changing into a leotard. Like,
right?
How dramatic.
It's also interesting to me, like, not that I think that this is Tina's responsibility, but why wasn't the person offered the bathroom to change in?
Well, I just feel like, again, like prior point, like you gotta, that's weird kind of too. Like,
What does
I
Iron
don't
Man have a
know.
mask? Like you can't drive in the
Yeah.
mask, but like you can you
Yeah.
can get out
But
of the
the
car.
mask, you could get out of the car, and also like I don't know, if it was a decent costume, I would think it would have a separate headpiece. So like you could wear the rest of the outfit
Right?
and then toss the headpiece on, right?
Wait, but it's so funny to me that like they are even pointing out like that this performer must have been kind of scrawny because they say awkwardly lingering, and that he could have at least put shoulder pads in.
I
Like,
know. I felt like Tina really wanted to bring this Iron Man up to her walk-in closet and be like, hold on 1 second, and just like grab all of the like shoulder pads and like boob inserts from all of her bathing suits and just pat them up.
what do you think the audition process is to like become one of these employees?
Yeah, so here's what I'm curious about. When was this review written?
2019.
Okay, so this was written like, all right, around the same time as our other reviewer. I was just thinking, like, did clowns.com get like too big for their britches? Like we're just grabbing anybody we can grab at this point and throwing them at the party. Like it definitely seems like there's some quality control issues. And interestingly enough, I'm pretty sure that all of their 5-star reviews that I did read, now that I'm thinking back, didn't reference like an Iron Man situation. I feel like everybody that had a really good experience had pretty much just the like traditional clowns and the magic show and the bunny.
So I really want to honor just this one star that I've
Yeah.
chosen, but I had a hard time picking.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that a lot of the 5 stars mentioned the performers by name.
Mm-hmm.
And what I happen to notice is that the huge, vast majority of these 1 stars mentioned the owner by name.
Oh, that's interesting.
And a lot
that kind of makes sense.
A lot of the 1-star experience storytelling that's happening when you look at these 1-star reviews is from the management side of things.
Right.
And this review doesn't totally go into that, other than the fact that like nothing was offered when they were disappointed.
Right.
But I like this review because I was once hired in college to attend a themed Polar Express party when that movie came out with Tom Hanks.
Yes.
And I had to dress up as a train conductor, and I had to like punch everyone's ticket when they arrived.
Oh, that's cute. I can see you doing that.
But I had never seen the movie, and I like no one had their tickets. And so like, you know, like 5 minutes in, I was just like, I'm not doing this. But the woman that threw the party like kept walking by, and she like hated me. And I like really did not do the job. So I just like was reminded of that experience about how this person is like, I don't know what an Iron Man does. So I'm just gonna like stand over here and like
yeah, she said that they didn't speak. Like, were they just silent the whole time?
Not even a peep.
Not even a peep. Like, so Iron Man came in, he's partially dressed or maybe not dressed at all. Based on the fact that she's saying he's only wearing a red leotard, I think he was putting the full leotard on the stoop. So not dressed. And
this is really a problem, because if you can select an Iron Man character, then like the person coming needs to know what to do. Like that is insane. To Tina R's point, like that is a problem. You've signed a contract and the person didn't even make a peep. So I mean, you know, I'm probably gonna have a problem here.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I just think I think that Tina R is fully justified in her review and experience here, but I do just feel like there's like a little bit of Karen-y, not even Karen. It's just more like that vibe of wanting to please everybody else, because a lot of what she talks about beyond just the experience of being disappointed by the quality of the performer is just like they became the joke of the party, that they were embarrassed. I think like, I don't know. I think under the right hands, like maybe we could have made lemonade out of lemons. But in this situation, I just feel like Karen's expectations so far surpassed the reality of what she experienced. And again, like maybe she like talked it up. She was like, Peggy, you're gonna be shocked with this big thing that I had. Like she like told all the friends, or like maybe on the like invitation, it was like meet Iron Man, or like something that was like very central.
Wait, I just looked up on the website. You can't even get a quote. You have to call to get a quote.
Yeah.
But this image of what Iron Man is so terrifying. It is not what I thought.
Like in a good way or in a bad way? Like
in a terrifying, hilarious way.
Oh.
Here, I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah, please send it to me. I'd love to see it. Patreon.
This is like not what I thought the Iron Man would look like. But this one has shoulder pads, so
okay. I mean, my nephew really loves Iron Man, and I've seen Iron Man quite a bit. So I feel like
what's that guy? Robert Downey Jr. Is he Iron Man?
Yeah. I'll be able to give a fair assessment, I think.
So this does not look like that.
Okay, let's see.
I texted it to you.
Oh, okay. I get it. It's Iron Man-esque.
It's Iron Man-esque, yeah.
I give it Iron Man-esque. It's not like, so you know how Iron Man has kind of like a plasticky, like a shiny plastic, you know, what do you call it?
Yeah, face.
Outer shell or what? Well, yeah, and the mask. So this is like, oh, wow.
I mean, that doesn't exactly look like a leotard to me.
But I understand the leotard comment. So basically what it does, maybe the guy forgot his shoulder pads, or maybe he just like didn't have time because he was dressing on the stoop. But like,
but if this thing is lingering around,
that's so gross.
It is going to become the talking point, especially with all the parents.
Right.
Like,
but under the right attitude, like, I feel like it could be hilarious. Like,
yeah, I mean, I kind of want this now.
And to your point, like if I saw this online, I don't think I would be expecting anything fabulous to show up at my door. Like this is pretty janky. It is like a red leotard. It looks like if somebody was wearing football pads, this is what it looks like to me. If somebody was wearing football pads and like knee pads underneath a red leotard, that's what you have here.
I mean, it doesn't even look like I agree.
Hideous.
No, I agree with Tina's last few sentences. Like, that's not the Iron Man costume you're going to see in Times Square.
That is like, yeah, this is much worse than the time. This is actually much worse than the Iron Man costume that like my nephew wore for Halloween that we got at, you know, Party City.
But when did all those movies come out? Because maybe maybe we're thinking of that Robert Downey Jr. movie version, and this was maybe before that. Who knows?
Who knows? Okay. Either way, okay, it sucks. I wonder if they added that to the website after this review, just to be like, and if you want Iron Man, this is what you're gonna get.
We also didn't talk about how he came half an hour late.
Oh, right. I guess I missed that. So you're right. He showed up. That was at the top, right? Oh, yeah. Iron Man came a half hour late, undressed. I mean, this is a pretty unacceptable experience. I want to talk quickly about the husband calling the manager, and we didn't have our cue there, but interestingly,
it's a Karen.
Yeah. So
oh my God, it's a Karen.
Yeah. It was a male Karen. She made
so interesting. It was
Karen.
Yeah. She turned her husband into a Karen, but I was, you know, for some reason, my Facebook as of late has been so many. I don't know when this started happening, but it's all like those questions, like, spell out your name with the like predictive text on your cell phone for each letter and all these weird things. So one of them that came up was, what is the name for a male Karen?
Oh, I've seen that too.
Did you see that? And it seems the consensus is Ken.
Oh, I heard Aaron.
Oh, see, maybe there's not a consensus. I had written Ken, and then somebody, I believe, dropped in like an Urban Dictionary image.
I like the name Ken.
I do too. I'm like, Ken, like Barbie and Ken. Isn't Ken already kind of taken? I don't know. Anyway, we had a Karen moment kind of with a manager.
And to me, honestly, like, I think that the service, according to Tina, was so under-delivered.
Yeah.
But it didn't even occur as Karen-y to me.
I agree. I was gonna say, like, it was like Karen-y in the sense of like we've now all come to speak with a manager, obviously with Karen. But that being said, like, what were they supposed to do? You know, like when this is what happened and they've been yes to death, you know, is it going to be like this? Is it going to be like that? And this Christian, is that his name?
Yeah.
Christian was just yesing them. I mean, yeah. I mean, I asked to speak to the supervisor the other day. Does that make me a Karen? I felt like I was justified.
Yeah, you're a Karen. So
okay, thanks. Anyway, so I do think that it was justified, and I think it makes a lot of sense to me that the reviews that were 1-star mentioned Christian or whoever they dealt with on the phone, and not the party.
That is so Christian is not the owner. The owner's name is George. We're gonna get there.
Okay.
But it is so consistent that a lot of the negative 1-star reviews will say the performers were really great, but dealing with management was so horrible. But this sort of was an anomaly. It does leave the impact for me that I need to like do a little like more digging, because maybe I should do like a princess rather than like a guy superhero character. Like if I want a different, you know, like it's like, it seems like maybe you can't guarantee what you're going to get. Like, this is horrible. I mean, if you hired an Iron Man and he was lurking around and didn't even come dressed.
That being said, like what is the case for one scenario is likely the case for another. I mean, yes, like I said, the 5-star reviews that I referenced had much more like fairies and things like that. So I think if you ordered something a lot more generic from cons.com, you could probably expect, you know, a decent turnout, because even I have some friends that's their job. Like they dress up as birthday fairies or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's their survival job. And a lot of those people, they put their own costumes together, you know, like they want to look like a good fairy. So
it did occur to me, like, does Tina not have like a 20-year-old cousin or nephew or someone who like just get the costume on Amazon? But that's like undermining this.
But that's a whole,
company.
I'm telling you, Tina, like she thought she was rolling out the red carpet and she told the kids, Betsy. Yeah, she had to be Betsy, and all the kids were going to get an autograph from the real Iron Man, and the dad needed to be there to take the photo. And we didn't, you know, like we wanted this to be really good. And Tina, you know, was just so disappointed by the way that this turned out. And I think that Tina is justified.
I do too.
I'm trying to think, like, was I laughing? I wasn't really laughing. How was the spelling and grammar? Was that all good?
It's all good. They really, almost every time there's an exclamation mark, it's multiple times.
Yeah. And then do you feel like if you had to, like, if you were looking up this service to, you know, hire someone for your nephew and you came across Tina's review, do you think it would impact, you know, your willingness to? Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I don't think I would be calling these guys up for my nephew, because my nephew does really love Iron Man and I don't want to traumatize him like that. Okay.
Are we watching him change?
Yeah, that just seems like, ugh, like that part of it, especially. It was just like, wow.
After being half an hour late, let's crown this.
Let's crown him.
The queens are tabulating.
You ready?
I'm Paula now, and I'm second guessing myself. Okay, I guess I'm ready.
Total score.
We did it. We're unanimous. 4 crowns. Okay, Trey, should I go first this time because you went first last time?
Sure.
Okay, so I gave Tina 4 crowns because, like I said, it was impactful. It seemed honest. Seemed like pretty much an unacceptable scenario. Didn't really seem like they did anything when she called up to rectify the situation. I think this is good information that I'd want to know if I were, you know, looking to hire this company. So for that reason, 4 crowns. How about you, Trey?
Everything you said. The only reason I didn't go with 5, because I did find it to be very entertaining.
Yeah.
Is that it does feel like, I don't know if this is entirely representative of every experience you'll receive, So I
Right.
gave it 4 because I feel like this is very valuable information and it is having a lasting impact on me. But I also
Mhm.
think that, like, you know, maybe if you get a different performer, if you get Mila or Shawn, then like they're really going to go above and beyond. So 4 crowns.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is kind of giving me left-handed dematter comb vibes, right? Because it's like
Oh, yeah.
if I was going on Yelp and I specifically wanted Iron Man and I searched Iron Man in the reviews and I found this, deal breaker. But I think for me, it's like if I wanted, if I was looking for Minnie Mouse, I might search that and have a different experience. So I don't think it's a deal breaker in terms of the company at large, but I do think it's a deal breaker for the Iron Man.
I agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree.
Wow. Okay.
There's a reply.
There's a reply. Oh my God. Okay.
Okay. So I have been sitting over here biting my tongue
Oh
this
my God.
entire episode recording
All right.
because Chelsey, you are not ready for this.
Okay. I'm scared. Okay.
I am scared for when this episode goes live because I think that this owner is going to go after us.
Oh no.
Maybe it's time.